Okay, your theme for this week, you don't want to say? Is it secretive because
Just right now, we're just kind of getting ready. So, don't know what the theme will be.
what type of challenge does Auburn present? It looks
Well,
like they've got three top pitchers. Looks like they've second in the nation in runs scored.
Yeah, they're a good team. Right now at this stage of the game, you worry more about your team and what you have to do. And for us to execute, we have to do just what we did last weekend, and that was to get great pitching and play good defense, get timely hitting. And I don't think it's going to be any different there. We look forward to the challenge. I think we're road ready, which would be one of my concerns if it wasn't for what we've gone through to get prepared for this. But the rest of it is just out executing them. And so you have to out-pitch them, you have to play good defense, you got to out-hit them.
You talk about the defense and the timely hitting, but you haven't had the dominant pitching that some of your opponents have had the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the scores evened up?
Yeah, I mean, I love going into postseason knowing that you have a pitcher that you can count on, that you can face anyone and match them pitch for pitch. And I think right now we have that type of staff with Thule and I think even Taylor coming in and Nancy. I mean, I have a lot of confidence in our pitching. And I think when it comes to postseason, it comes to championship play, you don't get there if you don't have pitching. So that's the foremost thing, and that's why they put that circle around that position, obviously. And then from there on, you've got to play great defense because you can't give people 4 outs an inning. And then the key's going to be is getting a hit when you need it, and being able to execute the little things like moving runners. And so the one thing I look at is, are our outs productive? Because you're going to have 21 outs probably. Are they productive? Are we moving runners? Are we doing what we need to do? And I think at this stage of the game, you got to get the bunt down. And there were some times we didn't get the bunt down. It could have cost us. But those are things in championship play and this time of the year that you have to have. And the team that's going to be standing at the end will be able to do all those things.
This team could have gone in a different direction after the Oregon loss. What turned it around?
I don't think the Oregon loss did anything to us. I think really this team has kind of defined themselves from day one as trying to prepare themselves for this moment and this time. And in conference play that you're going to have some ups and downs, and especially being on the road, I just think a lot of people don't realize that there's definitely a home field advantage sometimes, even in softball, as you would say in basketball and football and everywhere else. 10 years ago, that wasn't the case. But crowds everywhere are getting bigger. Oregon, I knew that weekend was going to be a tough one. New facility, packed house. We just didn't execute the game well that weekend. That's going to happen. But my biggest theme this year has been turn the page. You go out, you prepare yourself, do what you got to do, and then turn the page and get yourself ready for the next opportunity. Being around here for 31 years and going through a lot of times where you kind of dominated the sport, we know right now if you follow softball any at all, the game's changed. And the game's changed to a part where you have to almost celebrate the small victories. Knoxville, Tennessee, final run scored was probably the first time I've seen this group celebrate a victory. Because it has been a given for so many years that, you win a regional and you go on to Super Regionals and you go into the World Series. But it was kind of fun to see them celebrate the small victory. And that was, to go on the road in Knoxville, Tennessee, if you want to take a look at how tough that is to play, look at the Auburn series against Tennessee and see what happened. So there's a lot of good things this team's doing right now. But we're not going to get full of ourselves, and we're not going to get too ahead of ourselves. We're going to continue to do the things that we've done to get ourselves in this position right now. And so I feel good of where this team is. I like the chemistry. I think they're confident. And now it's just a matter of going out and executing.
What did you like about Tamara when you were recruiting her?
Well, Tamara, I guess the one thing I liked about her is when anyone has guts to say that they're going to be the president of the United States, that's pretty gutsy for a high school kid. And not just 1 year. She said that on her emails for like 4 years. And so I really started believing that maybe this kid thinks she can be. But I knew she had confidence, She had confidence She worked hard. She doesn't have if you look at her, you don't think she's a softball player. You don't think she's an athlete, But if you watch her play, and the one thing I liked about her was I thought she could help us offensively because she had a short, compact swing. She always hit good pitching. And that's kind of what we've gotten right now from her. She's had some key at-bats and at some key moments, and I just hope it continues.
Is there a characteristic of a Clint Myers coach team?
They'll be well coached, make good adjustments. There's I would probably say quite an extensive participation by people in the dugout, whether it's trying to tip pitches to hitters or whatever it may be. So you've got to be very familiar with vocally what's coming out of the dugout, and he's been around the game a long time and will take everything right to the nth degree. And but his teams will be very prepared, well coached, very confident. Offensively, probably will be their strength. Pitching, his son, Corey, is running the pitching staff. So you've got a baseball pitcher running a softball pitching staff, and they'll pitch a little bit like that, whatever that may mean. They're gonna probably pitch to contact, and rely on good defense. And so I've known Clint for a long time, and their team will be well prepared, and so will ours.
How would you describe your relationship with him?
Very good. But it's, I don't want to make this a Clint Myers versus Mike Candrea matchup, because it's not. And I knew that the media would try to pick up on that, and in a way it is. But I think it's, it's two guys that have kind of followed the same path to kind of get where we're at right now. And Clint went to Auburn because he wanted to be able to hire his sons and make it a family affair, and they've done that. I think the one that is, if you know that family, they're very competitive, and they live and die with the ball and bat game. They've grown up playing baseball and now moving into softball, and I think it's kind of cool, But Clint and I have a good relationship, but when it comes time to battle, we're going to battle.
Did you have sense that it was going to come together like it did for Danielle, and was there a reason maybe she took it to that next level?
Well, Danielle is, if you know Danielle, the one thing that impresses me about her is she takes accountability in everything she does, and a lot of it goes to her mom and how she's been brought up. And but the thing I like about her, man, is she takes ownership in what she does each and every day. And if she makes a mistake, she's going to admit she makes a mistake. And I've had a lot of great pitchers here, and some of them are really good at taking ownership in their game, and others are always pointing fingers to who's calling the pitches or whatever it may be. And Danielle, I think the reason why she is so stable is because she's got a very high softball IQ. She takes ownership in what she does. And so every pitch that she throws is going to go through her database first. And if she's not committed to a pitch, she's not going to throw it. And if something happens with that pitch, she'll own it. And you got to kind of like that, she's got good skills. She's got the speed that it takes, and she's got the movement that it takes. And the key with her is she's got great location. So she's a very good pitcher, and I'm not surprised that she's having the success that she has.
We saw her last week, a lot of shots of her in the book. Not to give away about too much is in the book, but what kind of information is there for her?
I don't get you.
They had shots of her looking at, I guess,
Oh,
it was like the
scouting
book.
Yeah.
Well,
That's part of preparation. I think in this day and age, one great thing about television is that it's putting us on TV a lot. So you have to pretty much know what people are going to try to scout about you. Like I tell our hitters, what are people looking at you, and how are they going to throw you? If you're not smart enough to understand that that's what's happening. So with the influx of TV, there's a lot more information out there. And so whether you're a pitcher or whether you're a hitter, you have to be a little smarter than the average bear and say, you know what, I'm going to take this information, use it to my advantage. But they're seeing the same thing that we're seeing, and so she will get in the book and she'll have a plan. And I think a lot of that is just trying to keep the game simple enough, but to have an idea what the opposing team is trying to do to you, I think is what it all comes down to. And then at the end of the day, it's really about execution. You can have all the information you want, but if you can't throw the ball where you want to throw it and how you want to throw it, what good is a plan? And so that's the nice thing about her. She can develop a plan and she can execute the plan because she's got really good control of what she does, mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Anything else for Coach?
Good luck this weekend.